Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I want to read in 2020. I'm a little bit late since it is February, but better late than never. I have a short list of books that I want to read in 2020. Some of these are books that come out in 2020, and some of these are books that have been out for a few years, but I just recently heard about or want to read. I'm just gonna get into it and share them with you. The first book on this list that has been recommended to me by multiple different people in the last few weeks is Call Me By Your Name by Aciman. I don't really know how to say his name, but I know that this was made into a movie a few years back starring Timothée Chalamet, and the movie is also supposed to be really good. I have not seen the movie and I have not read the book, so this year I would really like to first read the book and then watch the film. I don't know a lot about it other than it is sort of a coming-of-age love story set in Italy in the 1980s. I'm not big into love stories, but I'd be really interested in this, so yeah, definitely looking forward to reading it. I just adjusted the camera a little bit, so maybe this is kind of better. Ignore my giant planet on my chin. So the next book on my list for things to read in 2020 is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Reid. And I believe this book was originally published in like 2016 or something, and I think it's his only book, but basically it is like a psychological thriller about this girl who visits her boyfriend's parents, like really remote farm, and it just sounds creepy and really interesting, and I like a good kind of thriller even though I get really scared. It just sounds like a really interesting book, and I heard really good things about it, so that might be the first book on this list that I read, to be honest, because I've been really excited about it. So I think that this might be the first one I read. The next book on my list is called A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I am. Hanya Yanagihara. Anyway, this book was also recommended to me by somebody who recommended Call Me By Your Name. And it is about 4 friends in New York City, and it actually follows them from their college years all the way until middle age. And I really like that idea because I'm a big fan, like especially after just reading Little Women, I realized how much I enjoy kind of those longer stories that span a longer amount of time, because it allows such interesting character progression and character development. So I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, it sounds really good, and I know that some of the themes it deals with are like friendship, growing up, trauma, abuse, mental illness, sexuality, like all of these different things, relationships. So I'm really excited to read this. It's a bit of a bigger read, and it seems like it's definitely going to be an emotional read, so this might be something that I wait a few months to read. The next book on this list is The Outsider by Stephen King. So after reading The Institute, I realized that I really want to be reading more Stephen King. I definitely have not read all of his books, and in fact I have not read most of his books. But every time I do, it's really well written. So why am I not reading more Stephen King? I don't know. But I picked up The Outsider at a bookstore that I was in recently and started reading the first few pages, and it was really good, and I was like, oh, I have to read this soon. Come on, I gotta read this. And I didn't end up getting it, and I literally am like, oh, I should have gotten it, and maybe I can get it at the library, but I just really want to read it. I don't know exactly what it's about, but it's about this guy, I think, that's like accused of a crime, and he's innocent, and I think it's kind of one of those things where it is a discriminatory basis. I don't know exactly the details of the plot, but all I know is like the first couple pages just were like, okay, here I am. I'm engrossed. I'm interested in this. And he does have a good way of doing that. I definitely want to read The Outsider by Stephen King, and in general, more Stephen King novels. The next book on this list actually does come out this year, and I think it's coming out this week, but it is called A Real Life by Brandon Taylor. I haven't read anything by Brandon Taylor before, but I was looking at books that are going to be coming out soon. This was on the list, and it just really caught my eye because it's about a student in a biochem program at a Midwestern school. That right there really caught my eye. I'm pretty sure the school is supposed to be Madison. I'm from the upper Midwest, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't even need to know anything else about it. That's enough for me to be really interested. But I think one of the themes this book kind of addresses is just like academia and a lot of the difficulties in academia, and especially he's like a Black gay student, so a lot of other difficulties he might be facing in the academic world. And I'm really just interested to read this mostly for the setting, but yeah, like why not? It sounds interesting. The last book on my list is also coming out this year, I think also in a few weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but the book is called Here for It by R. Eric Thomas. I don't really know how to describe it because I haven't read it, but it's basically a collection of essays, and I think it has to do with a lot of like finding your own voice and figuring yourself out. I don't really know. It just looked appealing. I can't even fully explain why, but I love a good essay situation, so I feel like it's probably a good fit for me. But anyway, that is all for my books that I want to read in 2020. I would love it if you would let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, and then also what types of books you are excited to read in the next year. And yeah, I will see you later. I'm gonna go take care of my puppy. She's actually not feeling well today, so my poor little sweet, she got sick, and so she's really not feeling well. She's got medicine. I'm just gonna go pet her, okay? I'll see you later.